You're fine the whole rest of the time.
Dude, someone in the chat was even like, Dill's greater than this bald dude, so I'm the poor substitute for Dill. Okay, that's...
I missed
okay
that
with
one, and it was
I'm
before
the-
Goat got here, so.
For Dills.
No, it's okay. To be fair, having played Heroes of the Storm with Dills and done a podcast with Dills, I can safely say I am absolutely a poor substitute for Dills. Dills is in his own stratosphere, man.
Oh, it's fine. Give yourself more credit.
I give myself plenty of credit. I'm just not Dills. I'm Rob.
That was a fun show. Did you enjoy your stay, Robert?
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. This is I behave. We're not recording anymore, right?
We are live.
We're still streaming.
It's not part of the show now.
No, it will go up as the after show to the patrons.
That's fine.
But like, it's not like on iTunes and
so
like
careful
the
what you say about the
show.
fans.
No.
Talk shit about the fans. We love that. Like our fans are terrible, right? They're just awful. This is going up on the Patreon where I want people to promote the show. No,
I actually I had a great time, and I was more well behaved than I thought I would be. I really said, Team 5, I love you. You've given me such a great game. No, I expected to kind of fanboy out.
I'm surprised you didn't fanboy more out with my top of the show of like apology that was really only there because I felt bad to Team 5.
No, I was like, oh, Team 5. I mean, I guess they're cool.
Yeah, no. I mean, and that
looking around,
saying that is, I feel like mean to the listeners who run in with their feedback. I put that there because a lot of people really did make me realize that I wasn't giving Blizz and T5 enough credit, and they had a lot of really good
thank you,
points.
chat, for being so nice to me now. So one guy was mean to me, and then like 6 people were nice to me. Yay!
That's what our chat room is like. We have the best live chat ever.
If you're tuning in for the Aftershow patrons and you haven't seen the warning on the other one, we may curse here. This isn't under the same PG-13 banner.
God, you should hear the Observer podcast. Like, we're starting doing that, and Eleanor's just like a sailor over there. She's like, F this and F that, and I'm just like...
Wait, I don't believe that.
No,
you
never do that.
You have to hear episode 1. It's
I don't
like
believe that because I
great.
totally follow her on Twitter, and I've never seen her use foul language on Twitter.
Oh my God,
Ever.
she curses.
Definitely not in like every other word in every other fucking tweet.
I actually I went to say a curse word, and then I like stopped myself and like said like something else, and she's like, Rob, we're cursing here, and I was like I was so scared. I was like, I don't want to curse maybe, and she's like, Rob, we are cursing him.
This is curse worthy. Get on it.
This is what this podcast does. We talk about Hearthstone drama and we curse. Also fashion.
And whichever gamer crushes she happens to have.
Like everybody.
It's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing.
Yeah. She actually Eleanor just linked the to the show, so we're in hardcore promotion mode right now. Like, I've actually got it tattooed on my back. It's like when I go to the beach, you're like, observermodeshow.com, huh? I should give that a listen. I was like, it's on my back. It's also like covered in hair, but whatever.
Ew.
Shut up, man.
So that where all the hair on your head went, man? I'm sorry.
Dude, I tell you, from the ears down, I'm a hairy guy. All I'm gonna say. But,
oh, God.
No, J-Rock City, you're cool, man. Look, listen. Dills is really cool, and Dills is one of those few people that I'm like, Dills is totally different, but it's awesome. Like, I could never take Dills' place. I respect what the man does. He's super cool people. So when people, say that Dills is better than me, I'm going to go ahead and say, you know what? Give me a few years. Give me a few years, and hopefully I can go toe-to-toe with Dills.
That's like when people write in and just like, I like Scott Johnson better than you. I'm just like, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
I like Scott Johnson better than me, too.
Yeah, every day I wake up and I look in the mirror like, I'm not Scott Johnson.
We, on StarCast, this is a long time ago, right after Wings of Liberty came out, we had Neil Kaplan on, who's the voice of Tychus Finley.
And a total badass.
And a totally badass motherfucker.
Yeah.
And he, we asked him if, I do not remember, by the way, like after show viewers, I don't remember what episode this was, or I would point you to it because it was an awesome interview. But we asked him what was the weirdest interaction with a fan you've had, or just, what's a good story? And he's just like, I remember being at a convention, and he did the voice for Optimus Prime in one of the Transformers cartoons. He's not the the one everyone thinks of when you think of Optimus Prime's voice. He's like, I on multiple occasions I've been at cons, and people have come up to me and just been like, "You're not my favorite." I'm just like, And Kyle and I are sitting there just like, that's who does that? That's the kind of shit I expect from like a forum. But it's that joke you always make. Well, no one would ever say that to someone to their face. But apparently,
you meet some weird people,
Transformers
man. And they like
fans
come
are
up and
dicks.
they tell you things, and you're just like, okay. Well, I'm sorry you feel that way.
All I can think
also, to answer chat, my favorite drink is Rolling Rock. Now, they don't make so much Rolling Rock anymore, so it's kind of hard to get. There's also this amazing craft beer, which is ridiculous, and it's called Anubis. And I picked it up because it's named Anubis. Why would you not drink a beer named after the Egyptian god of the underworld? But it's like this weird chocolatey porter, and it sounds like it should be awful, but it's like if Starbucks and beer had like a night of passionate lovemaking, and then like delivered unto you its firstborn, and you're like, well, I don't possibly see how this can be good. And then you put it in your mouth, you're like, I don't ever want anything else in my mouth. And you say that aloud in front of your friends, and your friends stare at you. But I'd have to go Rolling Rock into Anubis into hard liquor.
How? When did they stop making Rolling Rock?
Dude, this was a while ago. It just stopped being anywhere. I was like, I'll have your Rolling Rock.
To be completely honest, I was never blown away by Rolling Rock, but I was never unhappy to have it. It's not like Miller where I'm just like, oh shit, that's all you have.
I think I'm directly influenced by the art and the name of a beer. So Rolling Rock was called the Pale Horse of beer. And Pale Horse was my favorite move in Final Fantasy VII. It was something that Sephiroth did, and I was like, oh, cool. This is the Pale Horse of beer. It's literally the death bringer of beer. So, because obviously the Pale Horse is, one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, I believe.
So you like to talk shit about Doctor Who on Twitter, and you're a Final Fantasy VII fanboy. We're no longer friends.
No. Final Fantasy VII, I have them ranked. Final Fantasy VII is my 8th favorite Final Fantasy, and Doctor Who still sucks.
Okay, so we're slightly better non-friends than we would have been at the beginning of this. I'm
just saying it's wimbly-bimbly nonsense.
Wimbly-bimbly nonsense.
Actually, just the other day, watched epic rap battles of history, and it was Doctor Who versus
Doc Brown.
Yeah,
that's one of my favorite.
Honestly,
fucking
that one.
Nerd.
Epic rap battles of history are amazing. They just released it was Bill Nye versus Isaac Newton.
Hold on, I'm going to stop you right there, Robert. Jocelyn, your head is in the frame of a card right now for an online card game.
No, and now to be fair to her, I also call people nerds all the time. Someone will play Leroy Shadow Step, Cold Blood Leroy. I'm like, nerds.
I can't say what I call those people.
Who does that much math?
I won't say even on the after show what I call those people.
I used to write about basketball professionally. That's what I did before I got into writing about gaming. So I played a bunch of sports. I wrote about basketball. I used to hang out in locker rooms with athletes. So it's still part of my behavior to still call people nerds. I'm like, oh, nerds. I get this look of disgust and it's like, ugh. God, get a hobby, man. Go outside. It's terrible.
The actual fuck is going on with my Audacity right now?
Dude, I don't know.
That doesn't sound good.
Yeah, it's giving me every error you could possibly think of.
Literally, we can't even record this show. No one will ever know I was on it. No.
I'm very aware of the fact that Doctor Who is not for everyone, but I stand by my belief that it is a wonderful show.
No.
Do you start with more recent Doctor Who?
I'm not a fan of old Doctor Who. I have a friend who's a big Doctor Who fan who doesn't believe that I'm a Doctor Who fan because he's all old school. That shit is unbearable. I can't do it. I've tried. It's hard to watch.
Yeah, I tried. We watched 2 or 3 episodes, I think, of the newer one, and there's a blonde chick, and they go to the end of the world, and then there's aliens that are peeling off their skin, and I'm like, this is weird.
That's episode 2. Yeah, episode 1 is terrible. Episode 1 of the new series is fucking terrible television. I like episode 2 though. Episode 2 is amazing.
The Doctor who was in Heroes, who was the invisible guy.
That was the 9th Doctor, Christopher Eccleston.
I almost ended up watching that season because I thought the British girl was so hot. I was like, damn. I love British accents in general, and she was really kind of cute, but in an approachable way. And I was like, okay, I'm a bald dude who writes about video games with a kick-ass beard. I think I could have this. I will enjoy this. And then I watched the first 2 episodes. I was like, oh my god, this is so stupid.
No, the first episode.
Kill someone already.
The first episode is bad. It's just terrible. And the thing is, I understand if you're going into it completely blind, like you've never heard of Doctor Who, you kind of need the first episode to set it up. But anyone who's even remotely nerdy, you have enough just knowledge from osmosis of Doctor Who, you can skip the first damn episode.
It was literally like I was dating some girl and she's like, I really like Doctor Who. And I was like, I really like Battlestar Galactica. And she was like, I'll watch an episode of Battlestar Galactica for every episode of Doctor Who you watch. I was like, sure. I like knowing I wasn't going to keep this promise. Like, I was just like, you are messing with the wrong dude. Rogue in real life. So, like, she watched, like, 3 episodes of Battlestar Galactica. She's like, so can I come over and watch Doctor Who? And I was like, oh, yeah. And then she came over. I was like, I am so sleepy. I just, day at work. And she's like, okay. Like, she's trying to be reasonable. She's like, okay, well, you know, we can just go to bed. I was like, oh, thanks for being so cool about this. And then she went back. She was like, yeah, I watched some more Battlestar Galactica because it was really good. I'm like, it is. And then she's like, are you going to watch Doctor Who? I was like, totally. And so I looked up, like, some spoilers online, and I was like, oh, man. And then the thing with the aliens taking over the British Embassy was that... She was like, it was Parliament. I was like, oh, man, that's crazy. I don't even know what to think. Like, oh, exterminate. Like, I was watching, like, YouTube clips. I'm like, Daleks?
You just started throwing out random phrases from the show to make it seem like you watched
a screwdriver.
She wasn't, like, particularly, like, she just, I guess, was really trusting. And she's like, I'm so glad you're liking it. I was like...
I have a sonic screwdriver right here.
And then luckily, she just went on and finally she was just like, Battlestar Galactica is so good, I'm just going to watch this, you know, I'm just going to marathon. I was like, okay, great. And then we broke up, and she had watched Battlestar Galactica, so I actually enriched her life without her poisoning mine. So I kind of did a good deed.
Our chat room has devolved into BSG versus Doctor Who.
Yeah. BSG's so much better, it's not even close.
BSG, okay, this is what I'm going to say. BSG is a better written show. I would watch Doctor Who every day over BSG, though.
Oh my god, I literally have watched, I'm not even kidding when I say I've watched Battlestar Galactica about 4 times. Like, it is just my comfort food of shows.
That's Firefly for me.
Terribly. I just got to roll the hard 6 with Bill Adama for a while. And then, you know, maybe...
That's like, Firefly for me. BSG, there's too much just space politics. Like,
Is it weird to say that I don't really enjoy the Firefly series?
We're done.
Hang up on him now.
Serenity was so much better than the show.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Everything up till the final episode is better than the movie.
Like, I've seen it, and I really enjoyed Jane. Jane was, like, my favorite character. And then they gave him a bunch of screen time in the movie, too. And, like, I quote him all the time, like, I don't want to blow up. You want to be the captain of the ship? I do. Well, you can't. Like, I really just enjoyed the movie
I'm giving you credit for having the balls to admit this.
Well, I just never, because my roommate is a huge fan of Firefly, and like I enjoy it well enough. It's just not one of those things I'd ever watch again.
Oh man, I've watched the series so many times.
See, I think it's just because it's a space thing. Like, I don't really enjoy space, with the exception of Battlestar Galactica and like Cowboy Bebop.
I was just about to say, that's the reason
Battlestar Galactica
in a
place,
fantasy,
right?
Medieval fantasy Europe. Sometimes
that was the
reason. Like, I'm
about to say, that's the reason I get bored by VSG, because they're just floating in space doing nothing for so many episodes.
Fight Cylons and shit. Like,
whereas in Firefly we actually get to see planets and
people.
No, they're pleasure models. Okay, that's what the blonde one was, and the Asian one. Like, that's what they were. Like, they had sex robots, and I don't know if you've ever seen the Whitest Kids You Know sex robot skit, but it's literally just a song. It's like sex robot, sex robot. Sex robot, sex robot. Do you want to get down? Like, that's literally what they spend the show doing. Yeah, now the chat's literally like, you know, get out, bring dills. Like, they're being nice to me.
It's all because of Firefly. You've done it now.
I calls them like I sees them. You know, like, I'm not afraid to tell everyone that.
I feel like Firefly is just one step below saying, I've never seen Star Wars. like
I actually hadn't until I was 15. And then
that's okay.
And then, like, my 15-year-old girlfriend was like, and maybe watch.
I feel like that'd be a really cool age to see it for the first time, because I feel like when I was a kid, I've recently been rewatching Star Wars again, and I talked to my fiance the other day. I'm just like, I really wish I could like wipe my brain and watch Empire Strikes Back, like not knowing that Vader is Luke's father, because I feel like there's never been a point in my life where I didn't know that.
Oh, I feel the same. I was so old. Well, not so old. I think I was probably like 22 when I first watched Star Wars.
Really?
And yeah, I went my whole, I was just past when like all the kids were watching it. I was a little bit too young, and then none of my friends were into it in high school. So then I watched it in university.
You need new
and
friends, is what I'm hearing. But okay.
I was a jock, man. Well, I was a closet nerd. I played all the sports and was really good at the sports. So then I just didn't talk about all the nerdy
Dude,
video game stuff I did.
it's so funny you say that because I had a conversation with somebody and I realized like I played soccer as a kid, like I was into basketball. Literally, had my cousin not given me a copy of Pokemon for Game Boy, I would have been fine. I would literally like right now probably be like a productive adult. I wouldn't be writing for a living. Like I'd probably have money. I would be like a reasonable, well-adjusted adult. But somebody had to effing give me Pokemon. Like and now like it was like a gateway drug, and I kind of got away from it, and I got back into sports. And then like my friend when I was 15, he's like, "You should try this Final Fantasy X game," and I was like, I guess. And then like I'm like, oh my god, there's so many emotions. And then like by the end, I was like, yeah, let's play the other like million of them. Yeah, fine. And that pretty much just then came World of Warcraft, and I was pretty much screwed for like I started working in a LAN center. I don't know if you guys remember this. But I started working in a LAN center. I was basically paid to sit around all day where, like, I literally just sat there playing, like, World of Warcraft all day. I was paid. I was paid to play on an account I wasn't paying for. Do you understand, like, how absurd that is? And this was, like, in vanilla WoW. Like, it was amazing. And then I was pretty much done. Like, now I write about World of Warcraft and Hearthstone. And it's just like, what? Like, I know where my life went wrong. I don't ask. I just know. And I, like, silently, like, I tell my dog, I'm like, man, this has all gone so far off course.
Oh my god, I feel like we've had a real soul searching moment with you just now.
Yeah, it's a real depression moment. Why couldn't I have just not played video games? Be married, have kids, hate my life like everybody else.
You can still be married and have kids and play video games.
Yeah, but I mean, I probably would have done it earlier. Like, because I mean, after you get out of college, it's like, well, I don't play video games, so what do? I guess I should get married. Now it's like, I like get out of college, I'm like, more video games.
I love how you're just
like I'm up till 5 in the morning.
There's clearly nothing else that consumes people post college besides video games. No one joins the military. No one like pursues a career. No one like gets addicted to drugs. It's just video games.
Like that's another thing. Like my little brother, he does like he smokes pot all the time, and I was like, don't you ever want to play video games or something? He's like, no, I just smoke pot and watch a lot of TV. I was like, I guess that's one way to.
Never understood potheads. Like
no,
at any point during high school, during college, post college, I never got it. I never understood it.
I tried it once when I was like 23, and all I did remember is waking up with like in my chair with my dog on my lap, an empty box, like an empty 8-pack of Pop-Tarts, which was full before I stopped remembering, and Pop-Tarts crumbs, like, and I used to be a pretty heavy guy, so it used to be like it was just all there on my chest, like dog, crumbs, empty box, and me just like waking up in a chair, and I was like, I probably don't need to do this again.
There was
well, I can't afford all these Pop-Tarts.
Robert, you live in Florida, right?
Yeah.
So you know about Publix.
Oh my God, they're so.
I
worked there, man. I worked there
for 6 months. So you know about Publix's bakery, like their chocolate chip cookies.
How do you think I got heavy?
Yeah. My experience, an entire 36-pack or whatever it is that they make, the whole thing gone. Goodbye.
Let me tell you about working in a deli at Publix, dude. So they like literally just never cared what we were doing. So like I went in there like kind of a chubby kid, and after 6 months I'd probably put on about like 25 pounds because I'd literally just go back there, grab chicken tenders, grab ham, cheese, buffalo sauce, just put it all on the grill, put it in a sub, grab like a Mountain Dew amp, and be like, I'm gonna go take my break. Foot long sub, Mountain Dew amp every day for like 6 months. Really destroys your body. In case you were curious.
I worked in the kitchen of a retirement community, and I was in charge of dessert. I got real fat.
But do they actually have good dessert? Like I thought it was like all pureed
Yes,
stuff.
I was in charge of making cookies from scratch, and they were damn good chocolate chip cookies. So I just sat there with a big vat of cookie dough, just eating chunks of cookie dough.
Oh my God, dude, chunks of cookie dough, like literally, and people are like, oh, don't eat those, and you're like, what else am I gonna do? Like literally, if I don't eat these, they get wasted. You turn them into wretched cookies. It's cookie dough. I should be eating that straight. Like it should just be in my mouth right now. Like cookie dough is just one of those things where your mom's like, don't eat this, and you're like, Mom, let's be real for a minute. You know exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna eat this.
Oh man.
No other outcome for cookie dough.
I don't know where to go with that other than just to agree with you and move on.
I think we should do a podcast about just stupid stuff. That would be the name of the podcast, just stupid stuff.
Just stupid stuff. That's
so
what
we just talk about really stupid stuff.
That's what the Angry Chicken After Show is, man. We just sit here and we talk about random crap, and the patrons get to listen to us talk about random crap.
Hey, man, that's actually a pretty good thing to give them.
I was like, I'm not sure if they'd like this. And everyone's like, yeah, keep posting them. I'm like, okay, all right. What's up? What's up, chat room? We haven't taken any damn questions from you guys. Talk
chat
at
room's
us.
been really quiet tonight.
They're in there. They're still like
They're telling me that myself and Dill should make a show
because of all the dollar signs.
There's one.
Hey, if I can make dollar signs, I'll totally do a show with Dills.
There's a bunch of blood, and there's one BSG fan and one Doctor Who fan left, and they're just like slapping each other. They're barely alive now in the chat room.
You gotta roll the hard 6. No, you gotta Wimbly Bimbly. I don't know what they do on Doctor Who.
It's wibbly wobbly, and you're messing it up.
All right. Apparently, there's like these statues they found in like the prop drawer that if they look at you, you turn to stone. I don't know.
Oh, you did not go there.
My best friend complains about it all the time because his sister's super into it. He's like, I don't understand. Did they just find these on the set?
Oh, that's such a good episode. I hate you.
Exterminate?
The chat room's still not over the Firefly thing.
Well, to be fair, I mean that's a really odd opinion to have. Like not admitting, and I'm not even saying I dislike it. I'm just saying like everyone else is like Firefly. Oh my god, they start ripping the flesh off their face. It's like it's so amazing. I'm just like I was okay. I didn't mind it. Like probably wouldn't watch it again. Although it did have Christina Hendricks in one episode, which Christina Hendricks, man.
Yeah.
Like the entire
two
episodes
by the way.
Man.
2 episodes.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
That was like the entire reason I thought about watching.
The second one she was in was never actually aired on TV, but it is on the DVD or Netflix or whatever.
I think I've seen it on. Yeah, I never watched it on TV. Like my roommates had the DVDs, and he walked in like he was doing me a huge favor. Like, you just need to fix your life and watch these. And I was like, okay, fine.
I'm afraid to ask this. Breaking Bad?
I've never seen that either.
Okay. I mean, it's newer. It's okay.
What I do is I save shows because I know that one day I'm going to be dating a girl who wants to watch TV. I'm not a big TV person. So, like, I know that I'm just going to end up with a girl who's like, you know what would be great is if we marathon Breaking Bad. I haven't seen it. One of those things.
I'm marrying a girl that likes to watch TV, and that's why I've seen so many damn things. Like, we're watching True Blood right now, which I am convinced is the dumbest show I will ever have finished the entire series.
So one of the professional Hearthstone players who's like really good today. He's like, oh, Game of Thrones is over, but True Blood is back, and he made like a happy face. I was like, really?
It is the worst show that I've ever enjoyed.
Also, I got a real quick question from the chat. Robert, how did you get into writing video games? Any suggestions for aspiring writers? Actually, I'm going to give you the cold truth that no one will ever give you about writing for video games. Immediately out the door, be prepared to struggle to get a job that won't pay you. You will be doing this for free. Be prepared to basically volunteer a lot of your time. And then eventually, after like a year, people will finally be like, you know, you're pretty good at what you do, but we'll pay you a little bit.
I know that feeling.
Like, yeah, exactly. Like, if you do anything artistic, anything that isn't like just hard sciences, you're basically going to be volunteering for a lot of, like, my roommates were constantly like, why are you doing this? I was like, I don't know. Not really sure. Maybe someday somebody will pay me.
It boils down to you enjoy it.
Yeah, that's honestly what it is. Like, I joke around, but like Hearthstone is one of those games that like I truly believe in. Like, I believe in Harvey Dent, but I believe in Hearthstone. Like what it is, what it stands for, what it does for people and the community.
Half of its face is not going to melt off, and he's not going to try and kill Gordon's kids. There's only upside.
No, it's a game that anybody can play. Anybody can grind out the cards. It's not pay gated. I mean, it's just a wonderful, magical thing, and it's made by people who are awesome. There's no scandal. You're not gonna like pull back the curtain, see like they're sacrificing orphans. Like that whole Team 5 is just amazing. But if you really like writing about video games, like I definitely recommend getting into it. Like I get to do cool stuff like this now. Like I get to do podcasts with people like this, great people.
The collaboration side of all of this has been a shit ton of fun.
Oh yeah, like I met you guys through Heroes of the Storm.
It took a while though for people to even want to collaborate. Just struggle. Like, just do something with me. Anything. Like you said, anything creative. It's a road. It's a journey.
And the worst part is like honestly kind of a oddly serious moment is like when you get into like the creative stuff, you have this bad habit, or you might not. I had initially of looking at everyone else who does it as kind of like competition. So you don't even like take the time to like get to know them. Like. Honestly, back in the day when we made the Hearth Pro show, like it was like I heard Angry Chicken, I was like, that's another Hearthstone podcast. Ergo must be a problem. eradicate with extreme prejudice. And now, like, one of those things where, like, I wish, like, you know, prior to Heroes of the Storm, I'd gotten to know you guys, because you guys are honestly awesome. And, like, I love listening to the show now. Like, I get that we can all exist in a vacuum together.
Yeah.
And we can all be friends.
When I was doing StarCast and Scott Johnson started The Creep, I was just like, we're done. The show, I shouldn't even continue the show. It's just going to be buried under another fine legacy of Scott Johnson shows, and I don't even know why I bother.
Oh yeah, no, I totally know what you mean there, because like when I found out, you know, Dill, like I didn't know about the instance until like I found out about Angry Chicken, and I was like, oh, who are these people?
Yeah. And
then I saw Dills did the instance, I was like, what? I did like the Hades thing from Hercules, like my lack of hair turned like blue or orange, and I was like, what? It was all James Woods about it, and then like everyone else was like, Rob, it's not a big deal, and I was like, oh. Like, it's like having Bad Neighbors movie, and I was like, no, they are going to ruin the neighborhood. Get these guys out of here. And, you know.
J-Rock City asks, what is my favorite class deck to use? I'm constantly, I want to say Shaman because it was my first love, but honestly, I think it's Warlock. Card draw is the best thing in any card game, and it's a fact. This is not opinion. Warlock is the best.
Warlock scum. I've hated Warlock since Vanilla Warcraft just because I played a warrior, and I was like, Fear, Mortal Coil, just literally sitting there like, man, I can't wait until I can finally do something to you. Hated Warlocks. Now it's gone on forever, and now like, you know, Zoo Warlock, which prior to Miracle was the most annoying deck in the game. They get a pass now because of Miracle Rogue, but
yep. At least their turns don't take 10 minutes.
Well, no, Zoo just throws shit on the board. Do you have swipe? Did you bring a Starfall? Oh, no? Okay, well, I'll just take my win now.
The fact that you get to interact with it makes it better than Miracle Rogue.
Yeah, admittedly, that's probably the issue about Miracle Rogue, is that you just kind of sit there like, you're like looking at the clock, you're like, I should probably take a shower. Like, they're like doing all this stuff, and you're just like, I should probably run to Walmart. I could use more hangers.
Yeah.
And like, there's Leroy Jenkins is coming out just punching the face, like, Leroy. And you're like, yeah, I know, Like, I got to the point now where the first time I see the Leroy, I just concede. I don't even know if they have 2 shadow steps. I'm like, I don't have time for this. I hate you already.
I don't want to see it.
Yeah, just don't speak. I know just what you're saying. So please stop shadow stepping.
Every time Robert like says something that makes me hate him, then he references like Scott Pilgrim or an old No Doubt song, and I'm just like, never mind, we can still be friends.
One day, if I make it to BlizzCon, man, we are totally going to hang out, and I'm just gonna like make you hate me / like me like every 4 seconds.
We're going to get drunk, and we're gonna quote the entire Scott Pilgrim movie.
God,
we're just gonna sit in a corner.
have not seen that in like 3 days,
and just be like, bread makes you fat.
Bread makes you fat. Wait, if you ate bread all day, you'd be fat. What? Bread makes you fat.
Double standards. Take it up with Liberace's Ghost.
Scott Pilgrim may literally be the best movie of all time. It's just every time I see it, I love it more.
Jocelyn, you're Canadian. Do you enjoy the Scott Pilgrim movie?
I've only seen it once.
I mean, it's fine. That's fine. It's fine. I don't know.
How are you going to know all the lines of the movie if you only watch it once?
I don't ever memorize any lines from any movies. It's so weird to me, people that just like recite movies. Like, why? Why don't you just?
I know, it's a weird thing.
Guys say the lines because that's their job. I don't want to hear you say
Then you should never watch Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Back to the Future, or The Nightmare Before Christmas with me.
Dude, oh my God, you're one of those.
I can do the same thing with Nightmare Before Christmas, like right down to the songs. So if it's like Nightmare Before Christmas, Last Samurai, Scott Pilgrim,
Last Samurai, Nights. Really?
Last Samurai is unabashedly like my actual favorite movie of all time.
That is an odd pick.
I actually know a lot about like Asian feudal history too, so I know that it's like totally wrong. But it's just so satisfying to me.
I enjoy that movie. I enjoy it. I enjoy it like I enjoy Patriot. Like, yeah. Like, this is inaccurate, but it's fun.
Yeah, Braveheart. Just all those war movies. Like Troy, even. Just all those bad war movies.
Troy, I feel like, is a rung below. I feel like Braveheart is pretty high up there, but then there's the Patriot and Troy, like, underneath.
Yeah. Well, Troy is just like Eric Bana, man. He just does it for me. He's so sexy. Can I say?
He is a sexy, sexy man.
I'm not.
Jocelyn's like, I'm ready to talk now.
I'm not an Eric Bana fan.
What?
I'm not. Unless he's screaming fire everything with pointy ears.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's the quote we most use from Eric Bana. Like, fire everything.
But he was also like in a terrible Hulk movie, and
I mean, pick a terrible Hulk movie.
I like the Edward Norton one quite a bit. I was so pissed when he wasn't in the Avengers.
Mark Ruffalo. is perfect. Like,
You're right.
He's so meek enough to be Bruce.
You're absolutely right. I was really pissed until I saw it. And I was like, okay, Mark Ruffalo is fucking perfect. Like, they sold
You know
me.
who else is sexy? Is the guy who plays Thor.
Oh, Chris Hemsworth? Yeah.
I'd let him pick me up and fly around places.
I just want to like watch his hair blow in the breeze. I know it's weird,
right.
but...
Like, and just like, drop coffee cups. Be like, I love it. Like,
bring me another.
Bring me another. Like, okay, man, sure, whatever you want, baby, whatever you want. Like, if Chris Hemsworth ever gets around to you, he'd be like, I'm gonna need you to go away. I'll be like, I figured. I'll just see myself out. That in Star Wars Episode 2, Ewan McGregor.
Episode 2 with the mullet. His haircut in Episode 2 was terrible.
Before I went bald, I literally had that. That was what I was. Like, I had the mullet thing. I had this grown out. Like, I'd be like, you've done that yourself to like everybody. Like, not even.
Well, that's Episode 3. That quote you just said right there. But,
well, yeah. But,
and his haircut was much more acceptable in Episode 3.
And Episode 3 works for me too. But people would be like, asking me like, oh, do you want something to drink? I'd be like, you've done that yourself. And they're like, that's not really applicable here. Like,
then do you stand on the table and tell them you have the high ground now?
That's just one of the many quotes I use. I really just Ewan McGregor in like I can't stand Obi-Wan in Episode 4 because he's not Ewan McGregor. Like I'm like, you old piece of crap, be Ewan McGregor.
Everyone that's listening to this and or is just enraged by everything that Robert has said in this after show, just please take a look under his card. There's a Twitter handle. Send it there, not to the Angry Chicken.
Not
email.
us.
Thank you.
No, don't send it to me, guys. I'll just pretend I was never here. Like I was drunk that night.
Well, anyways, I think I'm going to end the stream now. You've all been wonderful.
Thanks for coming out.
Bye, chat room.
Sorry, I'm terrible.
Bye, patrons.